Hello, my name is Matthew, and I just finished reading Fathers and Sons by Ivan Turgenev. Um, and my copy was translated by Richard Freeborn from the Russian. And uh, Fathers and Sons is a story about generations, the older generation in conflict with the younger generation, and how they communicate with one another, or the trouble that they have communicating with one another. Um, the the catalyst of the whole book is that the father is waiting for his son to come back from university, and he's eager, um, and he's happily anticipating his son's arrival. He's been missing him in his absence. And when his son arrives, he has brought his new school friend, who's a nihilist, and disrupts the whole household. Um, the son, meanwhile, has been swept up in this new um, philosophy, and he believes everything um, that his new nihilist friend says, and he thinks that at first, thinks that he's just a genius and so smart, never says anything wrong. Um, the nihilist is rude to his family, makes um, kind of unnecessary remarks to the father, who's basically nothing but kind. And there's the father's brother, who's the son's uncle. Um, and their relationship, the discourse between nearly all of these characters and more characters is openly hostile. And you can see that the younger generation has very rigid ideals on how the world should be. Um, and then you also see that the older generation has very rigid ideals on how the world should be. And both generations, at first, are not honest with themselves, with what they really believe, um, and, um, like I said, hostile, but offended, truly offended that someone could possibly think something differently than themselves. Um, as the book goes along, the younger generation at first, um, they have a series of circumstances that make the son and the nihilist begin to question their beliefs. And the son even has moments where he starts questioning the nihilists' um, beliefs. Starts thinking like, I don't think he believes everything that he says, or his actions are in direct conflict um, with what he's saying. Um, and the entire book is a string of terrific conversational set pieces that, in great depth and efficiency. This book is a slim thing. It's maybe 200 pages long. It feels like it's 500 pages in a good way. But not only do you get character studies of um, all of the principal characters, um, you get an understanding of everyone's relationships with one another, and how several of the characters have moments of revelation that are either brought on from external circumstances, or from having a conversation that leads you to ruminate and to think about what you really believe. are you being honest with yourself? Uh, do you hold yourself up to the same ideals um, that you hold others to? Can you listen? Um, it was a really powerful, introspective um, book. That the characters. Um, it is interesting that it's nearly deceptive who is going to be the main character. It's more accurate to say that it's an ensemble cast, um, or that the characters are these ideals. Um, the younger generation, the older generation. It's also amazing. Not, I mean, it's amazing that the book is relevant, but to see uh, and to spend time thinking how this conversation or this dilemma, the older generation being upset with the younger generation, and the younger generation um, being upset with the older generation, is constant. Uh, this isn't something that just started at the end of the 20th century and kept going on. There were ancient Greeks and ancient Egyptians, old men muttering to themselves, these darn kids, and young Egyptians maybe saying, like, that's not how you build a pyramid or something. Um, so it's a human question um, that will, problems that will continue to go on, and you can see how these characters fail to be honest with themselves, um, and be able to be open to talk and communicate, talk and listen to people that are older than you, people that are younger than you, people that have different opinions than you. Um, Sometimes it's not cause for offense to have someone that disagrees with you, and this book really pulls at all of these strings, um, and manages to have pretty high drama, characters that you care about, with without too much action set pieces. There's a duel, which is pretty great, um, but it's a dramatic, philosophical novel. Most of the characters are sitting around talking in different locations, uh, and it was great. I loved it. I think my last video I said it as I was reading it, that it was a smashing delight. Now that I've finished it, my second read, I would agree with my younger self. Um, I'll show that. It's a great cover. That's it. That's what I'll say. Leave a comment if you would like. Please let me know if I pronounced Turgenev correctly. I purposely didn't say any of the other characters' names. But yeah, leave me a comment. Thank you for watching, and I hope everyone take care. Hope everyone's well.